Hey guys, sorry I haven't had much content lately. I guess I shouldn't apologize because, the reality is just that I don't always feel like making content. You know how it is, I kind of go through phases. But I called into this Muslim talk show. I guess that sounds like it's going to be a disaster, but it was actually a pretty nice conversation. It was just me versus these four, pretty friendly Muslim guys. Among them were Hamza Sortzis. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. He's talked to Dawkins before. He debated Krauss. I think some of the other big atheist guys. There's also Sabur, who's debated Cosmic. So yeah, it was a good little talk, and I think we're gonna have some more in the future. I was trying to get them to explain why they think that agnosticism entails a contradiction. So yeah, here you go. Enjoy.
Mr. Ask Yourself. Ask Yourself, welcome.
Yeah.
Ask Yourself is an atheist YouTuber who actually did a refutation of cosmic skeptic. I think that was a very good refutation. I'm guessing today he's going to be speaking about something quite different. So how are you doing, Ask Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well, although your voice got quiet at the end there. I heard the bit about Cosmic. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Just ask your question, Ask Yourself.
Well, I guess that if you're saying atheism's irrational, I take it that means that there's some kind of logical contradiction entailed by I'm an agnostic, but by atheism. So I'm just wondering, do you actually take the view that I've got some kind of contradiction in my position in virtue of being agnostic?
Good question. I haven't heard that.
And I feel a bit weird starting off so formally because we talked a bit previously about Cosmic's video. So it's nice to speak to you in person.
Same here. And that refutation that you did of Cosmic's view in terms of it still entailing some sort of relativism or subjectivism is something we'll definitely plug in the description for people to watch. So Hamza, would you like to address the question that Ask Yourself is asking?
Yeah. So when I say that atheism is irrational, it is only in as much as someone would reject a claim that is true that can be justified. So that's what I'm saying. So I would even slightly disagree with Hijab's take on the whole atheism issue because, atheism may not have any explanatory power because it doesn't claim to have explanatory power, but it may be, for example, in a hypothetical scenario, their most rational position because the current claims for a deity or for a creator could be not in line with logic, or they could be irrational. So by virtue of that, they say, well, given the fact that there are no good arguments for that claim, we will stay silent and we will believe that the default position is one of silence, for example, or one of that a creator doesn't exist. So it's not always the case that something it doesn't have explanatory power, that it lacks rational force per se. Although I disagree with that hypothetical scenario anyway, but I just wanted to add that just to be a little bit more nuanced. So just coming back to the Ask Yourself's point, atheism is irrational if atheism rejects a claim, which in the case of Muslim theists is the claim that a creator exists, that he's worthy of worship, and that claim can be justified. So from that perspective, given the fact that that is not only an intuitive claim, it's natural, it makes sense, it's rational, and it can be justified, rejecting that claim is irrational. So that's why I'm making the claim that atheists are rational by virtue of the fact of them rejecting something that is a representation of the actual state of affairs.
Excellent.
Okay.
Just a quick thing. Ask Yourself. I'm going to give you a chance to respond to that.
Sure.
And then we're going to move on to Lance simply because our studio is full. But I definitely want to have your Darwinian delusions as a separate one-to-one live. And
can I add one point? Sorry, before Lance. Before Ask Yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask the admin to keep Ask Yourself on longer because of Hijab's response.
Right. Just a quick point on the actual question you asked about agnosticism and whether there's a contradictory postulation there and saying, and I think there is one. I think there is a contradiction there, and I'll tell you what the contradiction is. Sure. The contradiction is when you say I don't know, right? You're making a knowledge claim. So actually, your claim. So your claim not to know, you must know that you don't know. I think this is one of the things that agnostics almost always try and squeeze themselves out of the discourse by being on the fence. But I don't actually think that by saying I don't know, that absolves you of anything, because by saying I don't know, you're effectively saying I know that I don't know, because you have to know that you don't know. You can either know you don't know or know you know. So you know that you don't know.
So
And if you know that you don't know, there is going to be a tension there between the presupposition and the actual claim itself.
Yeah.
Can I get a reply in, or you guys got to move to the next person?
No. Ask yourself. You got a few minutes if you want to reply to both of them.
Okay, well, I mean, I can go forever on this topic, so you tell me when you want me to hop off. So
you can wrap it up in about 3 minutes. Your response to both of them, please.
Oh, I don't think I'll need that long. So firstly, just to clarify terms, we're all using these words in the same way, right? Atheist is someone who actually thinks the proposition God exists is false. Agnostic is someone who's just not sure if it's true or false. We're using those in the same way?
I wouldn't say that, because atheism, vernacularly speaking, is defined usually as a lack of belief in the deity. So it's not necessarily that you think is false. It's just that you have a lacking of belief in it.
Okay, I can work with that. That's fine. I just want to make sure there wasn't confusion, because I was using the word a bit differently. By your definition, I would be an atheist. So just to reply to what you said, So first of all, I could just be stating a belief claim, right? Like, I don't know what you take knowledge to be. Maybe you take it to be justified true belief, but I'm just stating my belief, right? My belief is that I don't know.
Okay.
Right. So if the contradiction is meant to be that I'm making a knowledge claim and I'm claiming not to have knowledge, right? So there's actually two problems there. One is that I'm making a belief claim, not a knowledge claim. So that kind of like shoots that in the foot. But then the other is that making a knowledge claim in one domain, saying I know that I'm not sure about this, it doesn't entail that, I don't know anything at all, right? I might know something else, but just not know a particular thing. Yeah, just deal with the first one, though. Assume I'm just making a belief claim.
Then you should say I don't believe. No,
sure,
I don't know.
Okay, I believe that I don't know.
Okay, but that's still a knowledge claim.
Well, I think it's a belief claim. It starts with I believe that.
But why can't it be both?
It probably depends how you define knowledge. But what I just want to understand is, like, what exact propositions do you think make up the contradiction here?
Yeah. So, like I said to you before, when I say, for example, I know or I don't know, yeah.
Well,
so I have. So, for example, if you ask me,
can I just clarify one thing? Just I want it to be specific. My claim is I am uncertain if a God exists. That's the exact claim. I just want to understand where the contradiction is there.
Okay, so the agnostic, if you define agnosticism, okay, how would you define agnosticism?
Uncertainty about the truth value of the proposition God exists.
Okay, so you must know that you're uncertain.
I believe that I'm uncertain.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. That's so. If you believe you're uncertain, okay, so you're certain of your uncertainty.
Do all beliefs require certainty?
Well, if you're making the claim, right? I'm uncertain of X.
Sorry, I don't mean to push. Could you answer that though? Do all beliefs require uncertainty or certainty? Because you're saying I'm certain in virtue of the fact that I believe, right? But I don't think you actually hold the position that a belief entails certainty, right?
How certain are you that you're not certain?
Well, I don't know if I could put a number on it. I'm just not certain.
Okay, but you're certain that you're not certain.
No, I just believe that I'm not certain.
But are you sure about that?
I believe it. I'm not going to say that I've got certainty, if that's what you're trying to get me to say.
No, but here's the thing. This is the point. If you believe you're not certain, then your belief is one of uncertainty, basically. You can rephrase it like that, yeah?
Yeah, what I would say is that I am uncertain if the proposition God exists is true or false.
Yeah, fine. So that is your belief.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your claim. Your claim is so the problem is when you say I believe that I'm uncertain. So you do have belief, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, so your belief is that of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm. And that's not a certain belief, right? It's just a belief.
Yeah, so in that case, you do have some belief.
Correct.
You do have some certainty, but it's just designated to uncertainty that you have certainty. Does that make sense?
Okay,
so it's still a knowledge claim.
Hijab. So ask yourself. I definitely you're on my Facebook, so I'm going to message you again.
Sure.
It's only that Lance has been waiting a little while.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to have you again, and thank you so much for reaching out to me a few weeks ago and on Twitter and Facebook, whatever it was. So
absolutely, thanks for having me on. Nice to talk to you guys. Okay, keep well.
Thank you.
Hey.
Sorry. I think this whole question gets a bit messy because I think, what's the guy's name? Ask yourself.
Yourself, yeah.
He was referring to, how do you define knowledge? And that is a massive debate in the theory of knowledge. If you go down that route, it opens cans of philosophical worms that you may not be able to put back in the can. And
Right.
I don't think it's very healthy. So I think when someone says, I believe that I'm uncertain, they're basically saying, I don't know either way about the proposition that God exists. And I think we should just take it from there and move forward. It's a little different from what Hijab is saying. And I do agree with Hijab. If someone's a kind of a philosophical skeptic, like, for example, Sectus Empiricus, when he says, there is no knowledge, well, that claim itself, it can be seen maybe as a knowledge.
So